Hi everybody, this is Derek with Lare Garden Center and Melissa's behind the camera.
Hey guys.
And today we're doing a houseplant series and we're going to cover scale.
Ooh, scale.
That's right. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, how to treat it, what to do if you have it, and signs that what you're going to look for, and that's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
And I have a Lare and it has scale on it, and it was just one, so that's the good news. And I'm going to show you that what it looks like as we're going to start off with. You see that little...
Yep, I'm going to try and zoom in
It's
there
right at
and
the
see
tip.
if I can. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what the scale looks like. So it really just looks like a little brownish, usually I want to say, or black, but it just kind of looks like a little spot.
Scab, almost like a scab,
Yeah.
right, on a plant?
That's actually right. It's a good, very good guess on that. And then I'm going to show you, I'll put that back down. I'm going to show you how to deal with that, but where you can find them is under the leaves. It can be on old growth and new growth.
So you've given this plant a thorough inspection already. You have not found any more scale
No,
on it.
it's just one, so it's been caught early. That's the good news.
Okay.
Because they can get, I'll tell you, they can get more out of control than that.
Okay.
But you can also find scale on the branches I've seen as well. And I don't know how many different kinds of scales there are. I'm sure there are many, but I've heard of at least 10 or more.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different kinds of scales that can affect plants. There's soft scale, which you can easily poke off, if that makes sense, of a plant.
Okay.
And there's hard scale. That one's kind of more bad because it's very difficult to remove those. In some cases, it requires removal of the branches to get rid of it.
And scale can be on anything, right? Houseplant to like a tree outside?
Yes, it can be
Okay.
outside, it can be inside. So scales are hard to treat. I will say that one. It's kind of among the more serious. I'm not just going to put it out there. It's
Yeah.
kind of among the more serious pests that you can deal with houseplants. But there's a good news with it. They're not very mobile. So as far as something like spider mites, which can kind of spread quickly throughout the population, these are very slow, and if you catch it early enough, it's very easy to deal with.
Okay. So
Shall
like
we-
this one plant or this one little tiny leaf, it's not going anywhere. It's just staying put, right?
Yes,
Okay.
there is a crawler stage. It happens at a certain time of the year, so they will actually be mobile during that stage. Then they fixate on an area of the plant, and it stays there for a really long time, like up to a year before the next generation goes out and does it. So that's kind of how they work.
Can scale kill your plant?
Yes, it can. So one of the signs of scale besides this is it'll be sticky. It's called honeydew, which is what the scale secretes.
Okay.
And it just kind of looks like a clear liquid that's dried on, but it'll be almost like somebody poured sugar that you kind of boiled on the stove onto it.
Like syrup or something.
Yeah, that's the stickiness I'm trying to describe by that. So that's what it looks like on the plant. And outside, by the way, if you're wondering, it will form something called sooty mold on top of that. So it can look black on the leaves. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say. And that can happen even inside the house too.
So if I see either one of those things, is that guaranteed I have scale, or could it mean I have something else?
It could mean you have something else, because aphids
Okay.
also produce that same sticky residue I just showed you, and even spider mites a little bit. So there's actually a multitude. But if you ever see a sticky residue or the black mold, which is just a sooty mold, it's not the same kind that you deal with, the scary mold inside your house. It's like a plant mold. So if you ever see any of those, it is a sign that you have a pest of some kind that you have to check out.
Okay.
Yeah. So shall I show you how to get it off the leaf?
Yeah, definitely. Show us.
Okay, so there's the plant. I'm going to pour a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there.
And normally you wouldn't remove the leaf. We just did this so that people could see, right?
Yeah,
A little
there's-
bit better what we were doing.
Well, one thing you could do is I could just pull that leaf and throw it away and call it good as treatment, and that
Yeah.
would take care of it. But I wanted to show everybody how to get it
If
off
you
the
actually
leaves.
had it all over a plant.
Yes, if you have it over more than 50% of the plant, you probably want to try to save the leaves, or maybe it's a plant with sentimental value. So I'm going to actually, it's off the plant, but I'm going to show you how to remove it. And if it's soft scale, it can be removed. Hard scale, it's really, really difficult. I don't think there's even a way to even do it without hacking the plant a lot. So the good news is this is soft scale, because you probably can't see it in the video, but with my eye, I can see that there's a little bit of white around the edge.
Yep.
It's a sign that it's a soft scale. So I'm going to get a blunt object. I'm going to use the tip of a pen.
Very, very serious instrument that you have there.
Yes. And I'm going to dip it in rubbing alcohol, because that's just one of the things that I use that gets rid of insects. And I'm going to just pop it. Oh, it just turned dark. That's actually a good sign. Could just be some of the pen coming out too, though. But that's where it's over there on the edge now, and I'm just gonna keep pushing it until it's off of there. I think it actually.
It's right there. I'll put it on my finger
Yeah,
so
'cause it's
people can
getting
really
smaller.
see.
That's
It's
where.
all smushed up.
Yep,
now.
it's all gone now. So that's what soft scale does. It's off the plant a lot more times.
Could
can
you
see.
also use a Q-tip to do that, or will a Q-tip not get it off?
I didn't think a Q-tip would get it off, so
Okay.
I'm thinking like, not necessarily a pen. I didn't know ink was.
We
gonna
could
come out.
use like
But,
a
yeah,
maybe like
a stick
or
a dowel or a
or
screwdriver.
chopstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things you could use, but you want to remove it off there. That's just kind of my feeling on it. Is just kind of physically removing it is going to be one of the best things to get rid of it.
And you want to make sure whatever you're using gets dipped back in that alcohol if
Yeah,
you're going to keep treating the plant or touch another plant with it, right?
For sanitization purposes, yes, that's the best way to go. So there's still a couple more things that you'll want to do. But first, I want to talk about, this was a light infestation. So this plant is treatable. Sometimes when you have a heavy infestation of scale, or if you're looking on there, it can be all over the place. If you have a situation like that, you have to decide a couple things. Do you want to treat it? Do you want to get rid of it? It kind of depends on the plant. Sometimes people have plants that have sentimental value. And when I was talking about this, Melissa, she reminded me that there is the option to do a cutting. So if the plant has sentimental value and there's a part of it that isn't infected,
Yep.
you can take that and start a cutting and start over, and you always have a piece of that plant to carry over and carry on the tradition, I guess I
Yep.
would say.
That happened with a plant my grandma had given me, and it was very sentimental to me, but the plant was so riddled with scale, I knew it wasn't possible to save it.
That's what I was talking about with what Melissa just said. Sometimes because scale is, especially the hard scale, if it's covering the plant, you have a lot of sticky residue, it may not be worth it to, unless it has sentimental value, to do it, to carry on. So in that case, getting rid of it and starting over may be your best option. Just kind of wanted to put that out there. So light scale, like this one just had one, is a lot easier to deal with. So that's why we're treating it and chose to treat it. So remove it first, and then we have a systemic granules is one of the things that you can use to treat scale.
Okay.
The downside to it, though, is it takes 3 weeks to a month to actually, because you put it on the soil, so I'm going to put some on there.
Okay.
Just kind of,
Just putting like probably, I mean, there's directions on the back
Yeah.
according to label, a tablespoon or something for a 4-inch pot,
yeah.
approximately.
But I've used this enough, I kind of can almost judge it
Yep.
with a chef's eye now at this point.
Yep.
So then what I would do next is water it in, because the water activates it.
Okay.
So what the problem with this one, though, is that it's going to work its way through the root system and up the plant, and it can take 3 weeks to a month to work from the very bottom all the way to the tippy top of the leaves. So the scale would have all that time to reproduce more. If there's any that I forgot or they're smaller and I didn't see it, because sometimes they start smaller, it'll take that long to work its way to the top.
But
So
essentially it puts chemical into the plant
Yes.
that the plant uptakes, and then if the scale eats it, it kills the plant. Is
That's
that right?
Yep, that's how it works.
Okay.
But like I said, it takes a month. So I would want to treat with something else besides just that. And the other one is the oils.
Okay.
So horticultural oil is the best. We have neem oil here. And oils is better because it acts as a suffocator, so it kind of coats the scale and doesn't allow it to breathe, and that's how that one works. But
Okay.
see, it also works right away instead of having to wait on that one. Word of caution with oils. Oils can sometimes burn your plant in hot, sunny conditions. So if you're going to have this outside and it's a plant outside, I would absolutely shade it for at least a week after you put it on, because oils tend to they suffocate the plant leaves a little bit, but not to the point of being bad.
Kind of intensify that
Yeah,
sun a
so
little
it
bit too,
intensifies
right?
the sun is what it does. So just keep that in mind when you're spraying this on, but I'll spray that on right away and let it sit and let it dry, and then that will be considered treatment for that time.
Do you want to make sure that you really soak those leaves with it and get the
Yeah.
undersides and everything
Yes,
too?
definitely.
Okay.
Up, down, all around.
Okay.
And then after a week or so has gone by, recheck and see if you see any new infestation. You can follow those treatment steps for another
Perfect.
retreat if you need to.
Awesome.
That's most of what I had. Do you have anything you think I forgot?
No, I think you did a great job of explaining things. I think, no, I think that's exactly how I would handle things. So thank you for that, Derek.
Yes. If you have any questions, comment on this video. You can find us on our social media outlets, and just leave it and we'll find it and we'll answer any other questions you have. We're going to end it here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.